In this video, we're going to be talking about adding a guest player from another club if you decide you want to go to a GotSoccer tournament anywhere across the state or indeed the country. Here's the scenario that we're going to use. There is a team, let's call it Team A, that wants to go off for a tournament. Some of the players from Team A have a friend that also plays for another club, and that player would love to go and join them for this particular event. Every player will have their own unique username and password that they created or were created for them when they registered for the first time with a club. If they don't have this information, you can retrieve it, and we'll show you how to do that later. But for now, let's assume that the player knows their username and password. The player has to register directly with the tournament as a guest player. Once that player is registered, the team that wishes to use him as a guest player can log into their account and retrieve the information and add them to the roster. I know it sounds a little bit complicated, but it's actually pretty straightforward. So let's show you how it's done. There are two methods that a player can use to register directly with an event. The first method is to use a direct link that a tournament may have provided you on their website or through an email that allows the player to directly register with them. This is by far the quickest and the simplest way of doing it. Using the direct link will take the player to this page. They enter their username and password, and it should put them into the registration screen. If, however, they cannot remember their username or password, they click where it says click here to look up your account. Then they enter their email address and GotSoccer will send them their information. Once the player is successfully logged in, they will see this screen. On the left-hand side, you will see it says available groups. Sometimes you will see multiple age groups listed here, and a player can register for some or all of those age groups. On the right-hand side, you will see a Submit Application button. Once that button has been pressed, the player information will then be sent to the tournament. At that point, the team wishing to use the guest player can log into their account and pick up the player, and we'll cover that later in this video. Now let's talk about the second method. This method, you log into the player's individual account and find the tournament to register with. This can be a little bit longer than the previous method. However, if no direct link is available, then this is the way you have to do it. It's actually fairly straightforward. Let's just follow along. The first thing the player needs to do is to log into GotSoccer. If you go to GotSoccer.com, you can click on the User Login button on the top right-hand corner of the screen. In the middle of the screen on the right-hand side, you will see players and families listed. Click on the Login button just below that. Type in your username and password and click Login. This will open up your individual player account. In the middle of the screen, you're going to see the word Events, so click there. On the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to see it says As Guest, and underneath that, it will say Search Events. Click on Search. When searching for an event, you can apply several filters. You can see here that we're finding any date between October to whenever, and the state we're going to select is Idaho. If you're looking to guest in another part of the country at another time of the year, you can use these filters to narrow down your search if you want to. Depending on the criteria you selected, you will now see a number of tournaments listed. All you need to do is find the correct one that you're trying to register for, and then click the button by the side of it that says Register as Guest Player. Once you have selected the tournament, the following screen appears. On the left-hand side, you will see it says Available Groups. Sometimes, if a tournament has set up multiple groups, you will see them listed here, and you can register for any or all of those groups. On the right-hand side, you will see Apply as a Guest Player and a Submit Application button. Simply click the Submit Application button and your information will be sent to the tournament. At that point, you're pretty much done, and the team can now pick you up as a guest player. Now let's move on to step 2. This is where the team can log into their account, go to the tournament, and pick up the guest player that's registered to add to their roster. The first thing a team needs to do is to log into their team account. You do this by going to GotSoccer.com, and on the top right hand corner of the screen, click User Login. Under the Team and Team Officials heading on the left hand side of the screen, you'll see the Login button. Click there. Under the Team Account heading, put in your username and password and click Login. On the first screen, you're going to see a list of events that your team is registered for. Click on the tournament where you're trying to pick up the guest player. In this example, we're going to use the Test Cup. When you've selected the event or tournament, now click on the word Guests. You will see this on the tabs across the top of the screen. You will now see a list of available guest players that you can sign up for your team, including the one that we registered earlier. His name is Danny Murphy. If there are a lot of players listed here, then you can search using the position or the footing filters at the top there. But this one's going to be pretty straightforward. Let's click on Danny. Under the heading Team Assignment, you should see a drop-down box. Click on the drop-down until your team appears. You can also put in the guest jersey number if you have one, but make sure you click on the Update after you've done this to assign the person to your team. This will also add them to the roster. After you've clicked the Update button, the player will automatically be assigned to your account. However, it looks like the screen hasn't refreshed, but it really has. At this point, you're done. You can either log out the account or do other functions within it. But for adding a guest player, you are finished. From the player account screen, if you want to verify that you've done everything correctly, you can have your guest player log into their account. You will notice on the right hand side of their screen now that it's going to say that they're playing in the Test Cup as a guest player. This is a sign that you've successfully added this player to your roster.